So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit, and then I'm going to show you some of the training footage from this week. Primarily the 500-pound squat I went for. It was probably the biggest grinder of my life. Don't think I've ever had anything go slower. Maybe a slower deadlift or something where I had to hitch it, but definitely never squatted anything this slow before. Going up into training, I actually thought I was going to try to hit this on the end of my last linear cycle, but it didn't work out that way. I hit 490. So at the end of this 7-week linear cycle, I decided to go for it. 480 moved fairly well. Threw it on there, got a spot from my buddy, and I hit depth and I got it. So I was ecstatic, as you're gonna see. I was wicked excited about it. It meant a lot to me because 6 months ago I couldn't even squat at all. So 6 months ago I was squatting maybe 405 for a 1-rep max. So within 6 months I've put pretty much 100 pounds on my squat. I'm dealing with Piriformis syndrome, which is, if you don't know, it's when the sciatic nerve that runs through your spine gets pinched by the piriformis. The piriformis is a muscle that's underneath your glute and helps you with hip flexion. The side effects of having the sciatic nerve and the piriformis touch, when the piriformis gets inflamed, it pushes against the sciatic nerve. When it pushes against the sciatic nerve, it causes, well, sciatica. So, coming back from that, I got injured 2015, the end of 2015, so it's been well over a year. Finally back to 100% squatting. Still can't deadlift 100%, but so I've been working on recovering from this Piriformis syndrome. It's been definitely a lot of work. Constantly trying new things, trying to get it to calm down. I for sure can't deadlift yet. Anytime I pull up in the 80%, light it up. As soon as I light it up, that's it. Not squatting for at least the rest of the week, if not longer. So I decided it'd be a good idea. Just don't even worry about deadlifting. Focus on the squat, focus on the bench, focus on what I can do, and really make improvements on it. As for the bench press, I'm switching between linear programming and conjugate programming. So I'll do a 7-week linear, and then 3 weeks I'll do conjugate, doing max effort, then doing 80% of max effort for a 5x5, and then having another separate bench day that I do a dynamic day, which is speed and really trying to get down your form, work on little cues and stuff that you want to focus on. As for my squat programming, really all I'm doing is just 7-week linear cycles and testing my strength at the end of that 7 weeks and restarting. And I'm not going to change it until it stops working. Don't fix it if it's not broken. For the bench, that's a completely different story. I did conjugate for over a year and a half. Made great progress the last couple months. Progress just didn't move at all. Switched back to linear. Linear got it moving. I went through 2 linear cycles and I'm starting to feel it like hiccup a little bit. So what I'm going to do is do a 7-week linear cycle on my bench. Then that last week I will go for a paused max and start conjugate right off of that. So do 80% of that max I got for that day and do a 5x5. Then go into the second bench day, which would be on Friday, and do a dynamic day. Work on all the stuff you can't work on when you're going stupid heavy. There's no way if you're doing above 75% for any more than a 5 reps that you're going to work on your form. You got to do 1, 2, maybe 3 reps at most at a low percentage, and try to really think about those cues you want to think about what you want to change. Do it for lots of sets over and over. We do 2 reps, 10 sets. Really kind of try to turn it into muscle memory. Make it so that you don't have to think about it. So when you go in Monday to go hit your heavy conjugate, or even if you're doing a linear, that everything just lines up. You don't got to really put too much thought into any cues. You just go in, hit it. Dynamic days for the form, for the speed, and then you go in Monday, you just don't think about it, you do the work you need to do, and you leave. And as for the Piriformis, some of you are probably wondering, how the fuck did you hurt that? Yeah. Deadlifting, so it's no surprise that I can't deadlift, right? It's caused by a lack of glute activation. Really, you can either use your piriformis or you can use your glutes to kind of push your knees out. Well, if you have a lack of glute activation, guess what you're going to use? Your piriformis. Guess what happens when your piriformis gets tired? It grows. Guess what happens when it grows? Pushes against the sciatic nerve. And then you're fucked. Because that shit, that is not a game. It fucking hurts. So, training a lot of glute activation, doing a lot of foam rolling, doing a lot of stretching. I actually had to get a cortisone injection into the piriformis just to loosen it up. You have the piriformis, it's all bunched up. You put the needle into it. Once the needle goes into it, the muscle has no choice but to stretch out. Once it stretches out, it relieves some of the pressure off that sciatic nerve, and it got my progress going. Between that, doing all the stretching, foam rolling, and all the glute activation exercises, I can completely squat, besides for a couple bad days here and there, and still working on deadlifting. Which is a shame, because, I mean, can you really live without deadlifting? I mean, you can, but do you want to? No, it's okay. I still got bench. I got bench. So, hope you guys enjoyed the training footage. Let me know what you thought. If you didn't like it, it kind of fucking sucks. So I'm going to keep doing the videos the same way. Just because I'm going to keep doing them the same way doesn't mean I don't want you guys to enjoy them. So, if you enjoyed it, leave a like. If you really enjoyed it, subscribe. And if you really, really liked it, give it a share. Get the shit moving. Alright, well, that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to know more about what I'm going through with this piriformis bullshit. Because honestly, I didn't even know this shit was a muscle until you fucked it up. I didn't even stretch till I fucked it up. Which probably didn't really help too much, but, you know. No one starts stretching until they, fuck themselves up, now do they? Just like Blade and Sumner. You stretch? Nah. Squats 1,000 pounds. We all can't be that lucky. Well, that's all from me. ATP out.
Are you working up to your max or no? Grind it.